Video I am going to discuss the crystal-induced arthritis. It is associated with a variety of acute and the chronic joint disorder. Crystal-induced arthritis is due to the deposition of endogenous crystals or maybe due to the exogenous crystals. Endogenous crystal depositions include the monosodium urate, results in the gout, and the calcium pyrophosphate dehydrate, pseudo-gout, and the basic calcium phosphate. And exogenous crystals include the corticosteroid ester crystals, talcum, polyethylene, methyl methacrylate, and silicon. Polyethylene, methacrylate, and silicon are used in prosthesis, joint prosthesis, and this prosthetic joint long use and wear result in the local arthritis and the failure of these prosthetic joints. Now come to the gout. What is the gout? Gout is marked by the transient attack of the acute arthritis initiated by the crystallization of the monosodium urate crystals within and around the joint. There are two forms of gout, the primary form and the secondary form. Primary form is due to the increase, it's present in the 90% of cases. It's due to the increased level of the uric acid but due to unknown cause. And the secondary is present in the 10% of cases. It's due to the increased uric acid levels in the blood but due to the known cause. Now come to the pathogenesis of the gout. Hyperuricemia results in gout. When we call hyperuricemia, when the plasma urate levels above the 6.8 mg per deciliter, and this hyperuricemia is due to three causes: due to the excess production of the uric acid, reduced excretion of the uric acid, or due to the both. Now come to the synthesis. Excessive production. Uric acid is an end product of the purine metabolism. Abnormality in the purine production results in the increased level of the uric acid. Purine nucleotide production is due to two pathways, de novo and the salvage pathway. De novo from the non-purine precursors, and the salvage is basically from the free purine bases from the diet and the catabolism of the purine nucleotide. When there is a problem in the salvage pathway, there is no salvage of the purine metabolism, results in excessive production of the uric acid. And when I talk about the excretion, reuse excretion, uric acid is filtered from the glomerulus and completely reabsorbed by the PCT. Only the small fraction is excreted by the DCT. What is primary gout? Increased uric acid synthesis for the unknown cause. What is the example? The partial deficiency of hypoxanthine guanine phosphoribosyl transferase results in the interruption of the purine salvage pathway, results in degradation of the purine into the uric acid. But secondary cause is due to the complete deficiency of HGPRT, which leads to the clinical neurological manifestation known as Lesch-Nyhan syndrome. So it's known as secondary gout, and it may be due to the increased production. For example, rapid cell turnover during the chemotherapy for the leukemia, and secondary gout is also due to the decreased excretion. Example is a chronic kidney disease. What's happening in the joint due to the monosodium urate crystals deposition into the joint? Precipitation of the monosodium urate crystals into the joint result in the recognition by the inflammasomes and the intracellular receptors of the macrophages, and as a result macrophages will phagocytose these urate crystals. And these inflammasomes also activate the caspases 1, which will ultimately stimulate the interleukin 1. This interleukin 1 will ultimately stimulate the other cytokine, which results in the recruitment of the neutrophils and the macrophages, as well as the activation of the neutrophils and macrophages. It results in the release of the cytokine, reactive oxygen species, proteases, arachidonic acid, and more leukocyte recruitment and damage to the joints. And as well as these precipitation of the monosodium urate crystals into the joint activate the complement system. This complement system, this activation of the complement system results in the neutrophilic chemotaxis. This neutrophilic chemotaxis results in the release of the leukotriene B4, prostaglandin, reactive oxygen species, result in the tissue injury and the inflammation, as well as the phagocytosis of these crystals by the neutrophils result in the lysis of the neutrophils. Lysis of the neutrophil will ultimately release the crystals, which will again phagocytose by these remaining neutrophils, and this lysis of neutrophils results in release of the lysosomal enzyme, which ultimately cause the more injury or more damage to the joints. Crystallization of the monosodium urate crystal is basically depend on nucleating agent like insoluble collagen fibers, chondroitin sulfate, proteoglycans and cartilaginous fragments. These all things are present in the joint, but damage to these structure result in crystallization of the monosodium urate crystals. Hyperuricemia has got two fate: no conversion to the gouty arthritis and conversion to the gouty arthritis. Conversion to the gouty arthritis is depend upon the several factors. Age. Gout develop after the 20 to 30 years of hyperuricemia. So if we don't treat the hyperuricemia, after 20 to 30 years it will lead to the gout. Genetic predisposition: X-linked abnormality in the HGPRT, as we have seen in secondary gout. Problem in the urate transport, URAT1, and the glutamine transporter. Obesity, heavy alcohol consumption, drugs like thiazides, which decreases the uric acid excretion. Lead toxicity will result in the sternine gout. Repeated attacks of acute arthritis results in the chronic tophaceous arthritis, and which leads to the formation of the tophi in the inflamed synovial membrane and the prearticular tissue, which results in the severe damage to the cartilage and the compromisation of the function of the joints. Now come to the morphology. In the morphology we will see four things: changes in the joint during the acute arthritis, during the chronic tophaceous arthritis, the sites of the various sites of tophi, and the gouty nephropathy. In acute arthritis, there means acute inflammation of the joints. There will be dense and neutrophilic inflammation in the synovium as well in the synovial fluid. Monosodium urate crystals in the cytosols of the neutrophils. Monosodium urate crystals arrange in a cluster in the synovium, and these monosodium urate crystals are the long, cylinder, needle-shaped, negatively charged, and the bi-infringement. And the synovium will congested and the oedomatous. There is also presence of the lymphocyte, plasma cells, and macrophages, but not in very high amount. Episodes of crystallization abates because when the crystallize, they solubilize and will ultimately acute attack of the gouty arthritis remains. And now come to the chronic tophaceous arthritis, means chronic inflammation of the joints. It's because of the repetitive attack of acute arthritis, which results in the repetitive precipitation of the monosodium urate crystals in the joints, which encrust the articular surface from the visible deposits in the synovium, and the synovium become hyperplastic, fibrotic, thickened, and inflammatory cells, and the formation of the pannus. Which leads to the destruction of the underlying cartilage. Juxta-articular bone erosion. There is in the severe cases there is fibrous and the bony ankylosis, result in the loss of joint function. What are the various sites of the tophi? These tophi are the pathognomic hallmark of a gout. These tophi are formed by the large aggregate of the urate crystals, which are surrounded by the intense inflammatory cells like foreign body giant cells. Tophi appear in the articular cartilage, ligament, bursae, soft tissues, earlobes, fingertips and kidneys as well. If tophi are present very superficially, they can ulcerate through the overlying skin. And now come to the gouty nephropathy. Gouty nephropathy means the presence of the tophi in the renal medullary interstitium or the tubules. And the complications include uric acid nephrolithiasis, and this nephrolithiasis produces obstruction which leads to the pyelonephritis. And the clinical course include the first asymptomatic period, which appears in the male in the puberty and the females in the menopause. And acute arthritis, excruciating joint pain with the localized hyperemia and warmth. First attack is basically monoarticular, involving only the one joint. In the 50% of cases, it includes the first metapharyngeal. It will involve the first metatarsophalangeal joint, and in 90% of cases, it will proceed to the descending order frequency like ankle, heels, knees, wrist, fingers, and elbows. Asymptomatic intercritical period. Resolution of acute arthritis will result in the symptom-free interval. But there is a second attack happen within the month or year, depend upon the therapy. If there is absence of therapy, acute attack will recur at the short interval and the frequently involving the multiple joints. And what about the chronic tophaceous gout? It appears after the 12 years of acute attack, and radiographically we will see the characteristic juxtaarticular bone erosion caused by the osteoclastic osteoclastic cells, and results in the loss of the joint space and it's basically a severe crippling disease. Now come to the pseudogout. What is pseudogout? It's a endogenous deposition of the calcium pyrophosphate crystal deposition, and it's also known as chondrocalcinosis. It's present in the people greater than the 50 years of age. 30 to 60% it present in the 85 years or older patients. This deposition may be sporadic, idiopathic, hereditary, or the secondary. If I talk about heredity, it's autosomal dominant disease developed in the early life associated with the osteoarthritis. It's caused by the germline mutation in the pyrophosphate transport channels. And the secondary types are associated with the various disorders like previous joint damage, hyperparathyroidism, hyperchromatosis, hypomagnesemia, hypothyroidism, onchronosis, or diabetes. Pathophysiology include the articular cartilage proteoglycan. Basically, articular cartilage proteoglycan inhibit the mineralization. When these proteoglycans got damaged, this will allow the crystallization around the chondrocytes. Now come to the morphology. First, the crystal develops in the articular cartilage, menisci, or the intervertebral disc. As these crystals or these deposition enlarges, this will rupture and seed joints. These crystals will be, they are chalky white friable deposits, rhomboid in shape, 0.5 to 5 micrometer in diameter, positive birefringent, while the uric acid stones are negative birefringent and needle shaped. But the inflammation, what is the main point? Inflammation is milder than the gout. There is a severe inflammation in the gout. Clinical features include the acute, subacute, and the chronic conditions, and it may be confused with the osteoarthritis or the rheumatoid arthritis. Joint involvement may last for the several days to the weeks. It may be polyarticular or the monoarticular. Most commonly involved, first of all, it will involve the knees, followed by the wrist, elbow, shoulder, and ankle. But in the case of the gout, the first joint is involved is the metatarsophalangeal joint. 50% significant joint damage, but there is no treatment. but in the gout there is a proper treatment is available.